Hi, this is the voice explainer. Today I'll be explaining the movie named The Exorcist. The movie begins in Hadra, Iraq, where a group including Father Merin is digging and discovers an amulet linked to the demon Pazuzu. Pazuzu is a powerful demon who brings heat in summer and locust storm in the rainy season, which causes famine and poverty. His enemy is another demon, Lamastu, who harms mothers and children. Despite being a demon, people turn to Pazuzu for protection from Lamastu. Father Marian later finds a statue of Pazuzu while two dogs fighting nearby, symbolizing the battle between the two demons. When the story shifts to Georgetown, where famous actress Chris McNeil lives with her 12 years old daughter Regan. One day, Chris finds a Ouija board among Regan's toys. Regan says she plays with it along with someone named Captain Hody. When Chris tries to board it, moves on its own, but she thinks it is just a game. Later, Regan says her bed was shaking, so she couldn't sleep. Chris hears strange noises from an attic but finds nothing. Concerned, she is taken Regan to doctor. During the visit, Regan behaves badly and uses foul language. The doctor says Regan likely has a nerve disorder and that her angry may turn into depressive other time. Chris tells the doctor that her daughter seems fine and has no issues. The doctor suggests that Regan might be stressed and because her father is absent and hasn't contacted her. Meanwhile, Father Karras is shown struggling emotionally after his elderly ill mother is placed in a mental institution by his relatives. Despite wanting to move her to a better facility, he couldn't afford it. And she later dies, leaving him devastated. Chris hosts a party at her home when Regan appears. Odile tells a guest her father lives upstairs and suddenly urinates in front of everyone. Chris bathes her and puts her to bed. As she leaves, the bed starts shaking violently and Regan screams in fear. Chris takes to doctors again and after several painful tests, they find nothing wrong. Despite this, Regan's condition worsens. She is thrown into the air and screams for help, clearly possessed. Chris learned that director Brooke has died mysteriously by falling from the rooftop. He had been watching Regan at the time. Soon after Regan crawls down the stairs in horrifying manner with blood from the mouth, terrifying Chris. Doctor and psychiatrists remain clueless. With all medical reports normal, Chris is advised to seek a spiritual solution. William, who is investigating Brooke's death, visits Chris. He confirms that Brooke's neck was turned completely backward, suggesting a supernatural cause. That night, loud screams come from Regan's room. Chris finds her daughter violently hurting herself and attacking Chris. The door shuts on its own, furniture moves on its own, and cupboard nearly crushes Chris, but she narrowly escapes. Regan suddenly turns her head completely backward, which is terrifying and clearly unnatural. Then, speaking in Brooke's voice, she says, "Look what your daughter has done to me." Chris is shocked. She realizes that the same demon who has possessed her daughter is also the one who killed Brooks. This confirms for that Regan is truly possessed by a demon. To save her daughter, Chris goes to Father Karras and begs him to perform an exorcism. At first, Father Karras refuses, but after seeing the seriousness of situation and Chris's insistence, her agrees. When Father Karras visits Regan, he sees how strong the demon is inside her. The demon mocks Karras and mentions his mother's death, something Regan couldn't possibly know. This convinces Karras that Father Chris was telling the truth, but before an exorcism can happen, they need official permission from the church. The church requires proof that this is a true case of demonic possession. One piece of proof is the word hell mysteriously appearing on Regan's body. Chris also shares how Brooks died and how Regan reacted. After hearing everything and listens to a recording where Regan mentions Father Marin by name, Karras becomes sure and possession is real. Karras the contact the church and to get approval for an exorcism. The church decides that the case is serious and sends an experienced priest who has done exorcisms before, Father Marin, to assist Karras. When Father Marin arrives, he hears Regan screams and immediately prepares to begin a ritual. As the exorcism begins, Regan screams in rage, insults her parents, and her bed violently shakes and rises into the air. Despite all the chaos, both priests continue the ritual. Eventually, the bed settles down. The demon starts throwing objects around using its power. Regan's hands break free and she levitates into the air again. With the great difficulty, both priests try to control her and bring her back to the normal. Father Mary notices the shadow of the demon in the room. At the same time, Father Karras becomes deeply emotional. Still blaming himself for his mother's death, The demon uses this guilt against him by speaking in his mother's voice and blaming him again. Keras becomes overwhelmed and Father Merrin tells him to leave the room. Merrin continues the exorcism alone. A while later, Keras returns and is shocked to find that Father Merrin has died. Killed by the demon, filled with the anger, Keras demands the demon to leave Regan and enter his body instead. The demon accepts the offer and enters Keras. Immediately, Father Keras throws himself out the window to end the possession and save Regan. As he lies dying outside, people gather around and one of Keras' priest friends arrives to give him his last rites and comfort him in his final moment. After that, Regan returns to normal. She has no memory of being possessed or any of terrible events. A few days later, Regan and her mother leaves the house and the movie ends. Thank you for watching.